Let's move on, counsel. Counsel for the respondent, if you're ready with your cross, you may proceed.
Attorney LOTOC, the NBI is an investigatory body, correct?
Yes, sir.
But unlike the DOJ, it is not a prosecutorial body, correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, you have investigators and not prosecutors. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now, in relation to this case, what you did was only fact-finding investigation, correct?
Fact-finding and recommendation, sir.
And recommendation, not preliminary investigation.
Not preliminary.
Because that function is with the DOJ, correct?
Yes, sir.
And in the course of your fact-finding investigation, you subpoenaed witnesses, correct?
Yes, sir.
Conducted interviews,
Yes, sir.
gathered evidence.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, thereafter, you transmitted the result of your fact-finding investigation to the DOJ, correct?
Our recommendation, sir. Yeah.
Okay. We learned from Agent Calilong last time, just to clarify, that there were two transmittals. Correct? The
Yes,
first
sir.
transmittal was on January 30, 2025, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For the benefit of this court, there was a transmittal letter then, correct?
Yes, sir.
Can we flash that on the screen? For the benefit of our senators, that is page 7 of the Articles of Impeachment, Annex G9 or GGGG. All right. Now, if you look at the document, this was received by the DOJ also on the same day. So January 30, 2025, correct? Well, it is not clear, but it can be read. If I may be allowed to use a pointer, Your Honor, just to...
You may do so, counsel.
It's quite unclear, but actually, if you look at the actual document, it can be read as January 30, 2025. Do you confirm this?
I don't have the document, sir. May.
Well, we have a hard copy, and I asked my co-counsel to show the document.
Co-counsel may approach.
30. Yeah, hindi siya clear, Your Honor.
All right. Now, this was addressed to Prosecutor General Fadulyon. Correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And NBI's recommendation was for 1 count of inciting to sedition and 3 counts of grave threats. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now, attached to this transmittal letter was your affidavit of investigation. I won't bother to read the body, but it says there that it was attached to that transmittal letter, correct? Because, of course, the transmittal letter won't be empty. It has to contain something, correct?
Your Honor, let the witness, I move that the witness be allowed to answer first before the counsel asks a follow-up question.
Witness will please answer.
I think yung copy ng affidavit is nasa DOJ na, yung first affidavit.
So there was an affidavit of investigation because Agent Calilong also confirmed this last time. So I just want a clarification from you. There was a first affidavit of investigation dated January 30,
Yes,
2025. All right. But we never saw this because it was never released, correct?
I think nasa DOJ.
With the DOJ.
You know, for purposes of case build-up.
But didn't you keep a receiving copy for your office?
No, kasi meron na kaming copy sa computer.
So in
namin.
other words, you have a
Your Honor,
copy of this January 30, 2025 affidavit of investigation, correct?
Your Honor, I move that can the witness finish his answer first before the counsel.
You already
Counsel for
gave his answer.
respondent, kindly wait for the witness to finish his answer.
We will comply, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yeah. Personally, I believe na nandun sa DOJ yung copy and then yung sinubmit sa amin is yung unang certification stating na kailangan yung i-comply itong 7
All right.
requirements.
Okay. Now, there was also an investigation data form attached, correct?
I don't have the copy, Your Honor.
But if you know, if there is a investigation data form that was attached to it, correct? Okay. Now, very well. Now, the DOJ thereafter evaluated the case.
Part of the DC-15 requirement, Your Honor.
No, it's a yes or it's answerable by yes or no.
Your Honor, the witness is in the process of answering a question. He is intelligent enough to answer the
Let
question.
the witness finish his answer.
Part of the requirement of the DC-15 series of 2024, if I'm not mistaken, the circular has directed the prosecutors to proactively engage in the investigation of crimes or in the criminal investigation. Kaya ho yung ginagawa namin, nung nag-submit kami, nung transmittal, ang purpose ho nun, for evaluation ng ating prosecution. At the same time, for case build-up. So pag nakita ho ng prosecutor na may kulang, part ho ng evaluation saka case build-up process, nagbibigay ho sila ng recommendation, NBI, may kulang kang ganito, may kulang kang ganito, hindi pa sa sufficient, i-comply nyo muna to. Part ho yun ng DC-15 requirements.
All right, clear. So in other words, the evaluation is to determine if the recommendation is sufficient or insufficient for the purpose of preliminary investigation, correct?
For purposes of case build-up, so that the transmittal or referral would be able to comply the requirements of preliminary investigation.
At any rate, preliminary investigation is the next step, correct?
Yes, Your Honor, after the evaluation and case
All
build-up
right.
process.
Can you receive this evaluation or response from the DOJ? Am I right?
You mean the certification, sir?
Yes.
Yeah, the first
No,
certification.
if only you receive.
Your Honor, again. The witness is in the process of answering the question, and the counsel is excited to propound a follow-up question. Let the witness answer first.
Same ruling, same reminder. Witness, kindly proceed to answer.
Again, sir, what was the question?
So you received a response from the DOJ.
A certification dated February 5, 2025.
All right. Oh, no. That's not my question. But anyway, let me direct your attention to a certification issued by the DOJ through Senior Assistant State Prosecutor J.V. Lawrence B. Bandong and approved by Senior Assistant State Prosecutor Herbert Calvin P. Abugan, dated February 5. For the benefit of this honorable court and the Filipino people watching, this is Articles of Impeachments Annex G9 as well, pages 10 and 11. May we ask that the witness peruse this certification? Just a manifestation, Your Honor, Annex G9 is actually not numbered. So pages 10 and 11 was based on the PDF file or the soft copy, but the hard copies are not actually numbered.
Noted.
So, Mr. Witness, was this the response from DOJ following your January 30, 2025
Yes,
transmittal?
sir.
So this certification contained the DOJ's evaluation, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And-
Part of the requirement
Wait,
and PC-15.
again, the same.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same.
Your Honor.
The witness still answering. Let the witness answer first before propounding the next question.
And the NBI received this February 5 certification, correct?
Yung copy ko, Your Honor, hindi ko makita yung date.
Oh, I'll help you. There is a note received on the upper right that is unclear. Can we flash that on the screen as well? It is unclear, but it appears to have been received on February 5, 2025, correct? So more or less 6 days after transmittal. Do you confirm this?
Your Honor, before the witness answers the question, I would like to
Yes,
commence
counsel.
my objection on the ground of relevance. May I explain, Your Honor, please? This witness testified that what they filed with the NBI, with the DOJ, is a February 10 affidavit investigation. And here comes the defense now, asking questions as to the first affidavit of investigations that the NBI submitted, which the DOJ asked them to correct and to provide additional information, which they complied with. And what is now at issue is the February 10 affidavit investigation. That's why I'm now objecting on the grounds of relevance.
Your Honor.
What's the wait, let me finish. What's the point of digging into a prior affidavit investigation when what this witness testified to, when what this witness identified is a later affidavit investigation that is now being considered by the DO? The question is simple: what's the relevance?
Objection is overruled. It goes into the credibility of the witness as well as his ability to testify as to his investigative report. And witness is competent enough anyway. Witness may answer.
Yes, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, we received that letter on 10 February 2025 based on the second letter submitted to Honorable Richard Anthony D. Fadulion, signed by Judge Jaime B. Santiago. States here that on 10 February 2025, this Bureau received the certification dated 05 February 2025, where the evaluating prosecutors referred the case for case build-up, citing reasons thereof.
Then in that case, Your Honor, we have a problem because this is
Oh,
part...
Your Honor, objection.
Your Honor, I'm not yet...
Objection.
Kindly let counsel finish.
Because like, as I mentioned a while ago, Your Honor, this forms part of the records of this honorable court. This was submitted as page 10 to 11 of Annex G9. This is part of the court's record, and we also received this. These are not our documents.
That's why I'm objecting,
These are
Your
the
Honor.
prosecution's... I mean, the
Counsel for the
prosecution's
prosecution,
documents.
kindly let him finish.
These are not our documents, Your Honor. These are part of the records of the court. This came from them, and they attached this to the articles of impeachment. Your Honor, we have all the right to confront each and every document because that forms part of the charge against our client. Now,
Counsel,
if Attorney LOTOC is saying, Your Honor, if I may just be allowed to
It is now
finish,
a manifestation,
that
Your Honor.
it was received on February 10. We just want to counter-manifest, Your Honor, that there is a received stamp here, says February 5.
Your Honor, this is not highly...
Counsel, the presiding officer already overruled the objection of counsel for the prosecutors. And I thought you would end up with a question. Kindly proceed with your cross-examination.
So in other words, you deny that it was received on February 5, 2025 as seen here in this document that is part of the records of the Senate Impeachment Court.
Well, first, Your Honor, hindi ho ako yung nag-receive niyan. Then pangalawa, ang nakapirma ho rito ang dating director namin, Jaime B. Santiago, at ang sinasabi niya, on 10 February 2025, this Bureau received the certification dated 05 February 2025.
All right. Anyway, I'll move on to a new point. This certification noted 7 items, and we went through this the last time with Agent Calilong, so I won't delve on that. But basically, just to go through this very quickly, the first point says that there is no affidavit of the person, so no affidavit. The second point is, or the second note is, the press briefing conducted on October 18, so no TSN and affidavit of the person taking the TSN. Number 3 is annexes I and K with marking, so no affidavit of recorder and no TSN and affidavit. Number 4, Annex L did not indicate who made such TSN, so incomplete information. Number 5, the affidavit of Juan Patria Morales, so no USB. Number 6, only the minutes of the meeting with several so no affidavit. But I'd like...
Oh, Your Honor, that's my objection now.
I'm just reading
Where's
it, Your
the
Honor.
question?
Wait for the question.
Kindly
Okay,
wait
I'm
for
going
the
I'm going to the
counsel.
question. I'm just
Thank
laying
you.
the basis, Your Honor. Now, I'd like to highlight note number 7. Please allow me to read that portion, or at least the latter portion thereof. It says there, in the instant complaint, only the NBI executed an affidavit and there was no participation on the part of the offended parties. As it appears, NBI is not the offended party for the crime of grave threats. My question is this. So based on note number 7, according to the DOJ, the NBI is not the offended party, correct?
Based on number 7, NBI is not the offended party for the crime of grave threats.
Okay, very well. So the offended parties, if at all, are President BBM, the First Lady, and the former Speaker, correct?
Yes, sir.
At any rate, all these, the 7 notes that I mentioned, are all deficiencies in the first affidavit of investigation, correct?
It's not deficiency, Your Honor, because the first affidavit we've submitted is substantial in terms of
Substantial.
establishing the evidence required. This requirement is a matter of complying the required quantum of evidence required under DC-20. And if I may, sir, the purpose of submitting our referral to the Department of Justice is for preliminary investigation, which under the NPS rules, the new rules under the NPS, the law enforcement agency can submit a complaint affidavit, or in fact submit a complaint before the DOJ for purposes of preliminary investigation. The requirement that the offended party should have that complaint affidavit is not an indispensable requirement, and so far as the preliminary investigation is concerned.
Very well. Now, based on that answer, I'd just like to point your attention to the portion of this certification dated February 5, 2025, next to the box ticked with an X. Kindly allow me to read, if we can highlight that portion. Okay. It says here, and you can read with me, insufficient for the conduct of preliminary investigation and must first be referred for case build-up. So in Filipino, this is my question, I'll do it in Filipino. So in other words, nakulangan yung DOJ, correct?
For purposes, Your Honor, of satisfying the elements, the required quantum of evidence, the DOJ required us to attach the affidavits and other documents like the TSN, sir.
Thank you. And the DOJ itself mentioned this, correct? Or said this, correct?
Based on the certification.
All right. In fact, let me direct your attention to the portion after I quote, must first be referred for case build-up. Can we flash that also on the screen? And allow me to read. The complaint/referral does not contain all the necessary evidence to prove the essential elements of the crime. Therefore, it is recommended that the same be first referred for case build-up. Okay? Now, let me get this straight. I'll summarize first and then I'll ask the question. So the subject incident happened on November 23, 2024, and the NBI conducted fact-finding investigation, as you said. You subpoenaed individuals, conducted interviews, gathered evidence, among others, as you said also, and the NBI spent over 2 months or until January 30, 2025 for this process. Is this a fair summation of what we had just discussed?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
You don't agree. And yet, when the NBI transmitted the case to the DOJ on January 30, 2025, the DOJ found it to be insufficient for the conduct of preliminary investigation.
Objection, Your Honor. Continuing objection as to this series of questions as to the prior affidavit investigation, which was corrected in a February 10, 2025. Continuing objection, Your Honor.
The continuing objection is noted. Same ruling by the court. Witness may answer.
Yes, Your Honor. The fact that the Department of Justice
That would be
issued
enough.
another
That would be enough. Yes,
certification.
sir.
Kindly let the
All right.
witness finish.
We will
counsel.
comply, Your Honor.
Are
The
you
fact
done,
that the
Mr.
Department of
Witness?
Justice issued another certification on February 14, 2025, and it states here that the referral is sufficient for conduct of preliminary investigation and that it contains all the necessary evidence to prove the essential elements of the crime and should be docketed for preliminary
With the
investigation.
permission of the parties, Attorney LOTOC, that's the second certification.
Yes
You're
po,
speaking
Your
of.
Honor. The second certification.
Counsel for the respondent.
Yeah, we
please.
will go to that. In other words, based on this certification, the DOJ did not affirm the NBI's recommendation, correct?
No, part of the process of evaluation and case build-up, the DOJ require us to comply with the requirements na hinihingi nila, gaya ng mag-attach kayo ng affidavit, mag-attach kayo ng TSN, pero wala hong sinabi ang DOJ doon na hindi substantial yung aming affidavit. Ang require lang ho nila, mag-attach kayo ng yun nga, yung affidavit na na-record yung video, at then yung Yung TSN, sir.
Well, according to you, but we just
Oh,
read
no, you're
that it was
argumentative.
insufficient. Your Honor,
Objection, argumentative.
Argumentative, asked and answered. Move on, counsel.
okay, that's interesting because there was a 2025 impeachment complaint filed against VP Sara also on February 5, 2025. If you know.
Again, Your Honor, what?
The date is important because there was also a February 5, an impeachment complaint filed against VP Sara also on February 5, 2025. Correct?
Hindi ako familiar.
You're not
sa-
familiar. That's okay. If I may refresh your memory, this was the fast track 2025 impeachment complaint signed by the
Objection, Your
215
Honor.
representatives.
If a ground arises, a counsel can object. The term fast-tracked,
Oh, Your Honor.
you are labeling a process made by House of Representatives as fast-tracked. Objection, Your Honor, please.
Counsel, move on and ask your question.
If you know, if this coincides with that impeachment complaint that was signed by the 215
Objection, Your Honor.
representatives.
There's no basis. This counsel,
If you
this
know.
witness, again, already said that he is not aware that on that day there was an impeachment complaint. There's
Counsel-
no basis for that question.
Counsel, witness already answered. The counsel for prosecutor is correct. Witness already answered. He's not familiar with the filing of an impeachment complaint on that date.
At any rate, this
Move on.
pertains to the November 23, 2024 video, correct?
Objection, vague, Your Honor. What's the question? Referring to a video. Objection, vague.
Kindly restate your question, counsel.
The complaint. The complaint that was filed against the Vice President also pertains to the November 23, 2024 video.
Objection,
if you know.
Again, vague. Complaint filed on that date.
Well, if he knows, he already answered. He doesn't. Who knows? He might all of a sudden recall. Do you know? Are you familiar with that, Mr. Attorney Lotok?
I said, Your Honor, hindi ako familiar nung filing nung sa impeachment.
Yeah.
You're not familiar. Okay, I'll move on to a new point then.
Move
now,
on, counsel.
Now, did you rectify your January 30, 2025 affidavit of investigation?
January 30.
January 30, 2025 affidavit of investigation. In short, the first affidavit of investigation.
We complied with
You
the
complied.
requirements of the Department of Justice.
All right. Did anybody ask you to rectify?
What do you mean, sir?
Microphone. Use the microphone.
What do you mean?
Did you receive any directive from anybody to rectify that affidavit of investigation?
Objection, argumentative. The question was asked. He said we complied, and then he's now asking the
I'm
same
asking
question.
who? I'm asking if there is another person who directed you to satisfy the requirement.
Overruled.
withdraw,
Witness
withdraw.
will answer. Witness is an intelligent witness. Aside from the fact that he's a lawyer.
Your Honor, when we received the certification dated 05 February 2025, ito ho yung kinumply namin.
All right. And you added affidavits executed by your agents, correct? To your revised affidavit of investigation, correct?
No, we didn't revise the affidavit of investigation. We just produced the affidavits of the fact that the video was recorded and there was TSN. Yun ho yung in-attach namin sa affidavit of investigation.
So you are denying that you produce a revised affidavit of investigation.
Well, when you say kasi revised affidavit, binago namin yung affidavit namin. Hindi ho namin binago, Your Honor, yung affidavit namin. Nag-require ho ang Department of Justice, kulang kayo ng affidavit as to the fact na nirecord nyo yung video, kulang kayo doon sa affidavit kung sino nag-execute ng TSN, etc. But not the substance ng affidavit, Your Honor.
All right, I'll go back to the point later, but let me highlight one very important observation. Okay, your January 30, 2025 affidavit of investigation included a transmittal letter, as you said, as well as in an investigation data form or IDF, correct?
Wala akong kopya dito, sir.
You don't have a copy. Okay. In fact, let's show that IDF. Page 12, this is page 12 of Annex G9 for the benefit of this honorable court as well. Okay, this is an investigation data form. You're very familiar with this document because you're an investigator, correct? Now, this was...
Kindly wait for the witness to answer.
He
Are you
nodded his
familiar?
head.
Yeah, investigation data form, sir.
Okay.
Opo, Your Honor.
All right, so in other words, the IDF serves like a cover letter for your affidavit of investigation, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the transmittal letter, along with this IDF, was received by the DOJ, correct?
Yeah, I believe so, sir.
All right. Now, my question is this. Was the investigation data form also received by the DOJ?
I don't have personal knowledge.
You don't have,
No.
but you were the one who caused the filing of the affidavit
No, I-
attached to this affidavit of investigation data
I
form,
instructed
correct?
the agent on case as well as the executive officer na pagkumpleto na, pwede niyo nang i-file yan sa Department of Justice for purposes of evaluation and case build-up if warranted, sir.
Okay. But here, upon perusal of this investigation data form, there is a stamp received in the upper left portion of this data investigation form. And I'd like to note, Your Honor,
Oh.
and for the benefit of the court, can I ask my co-counsel also to distribute among the senator judges a printed copy so that they can peruse this document better, as well as the witness, so he can confront. There is a stamp Department of Justice received, but it appears that it was initially stamped February 12, 2025, but there is a marking, a manual marking that converted it to January 30. And there is also a word there, JAN. So January 30 ang lumabas, no?
Okay.
My question to you is this. The stamp says Department of Justice, correct?
Well,
No,
wala akong hawak na document ko,
you
Your
can
Honor.
perceive it.
Kung-
And
kung
mind you,
yung-
these are not our documents. These are part of Annex G9 of the Articles of Impeachment. So these are not our documents.
Your Honor, I would like to object now. The witness already said that he is not aware as to the actual filing because he only asked his agent on case to investigate. And then now the witness is now being propounded to question as to what appears on the stamp as to the time or date of receipt by the DOJ. So the witness said he is not competent to answer that. Your Honor, please. Oh, wait, I'm not done. That's the first one. Your Honor, please. No need for the court to rule, but I am registering my continuing objection to this series of questions as to the prior affidavit of investigation, when in fact, this witness already said that he complied with all the requirements by the DOJ and came up with a February 10, 2025 affidavit investigation. So I move that it be noted, Your Honor, please. The continuing objection.
objection of counsel for the prosecutor is noted, but counsel, as pointed out by counsel for the respondent, this is part and parcel of the complaint
Yes, ma'am.
that the panel of prosecutors filed before this court. If the witness knows, he may answer.
So the question is, the stamp says Department of Justice, correct? It's a very basic question.
Again, I don't know, Your Honor.
No, based on this document,
Argumentative, Your Honor.
the only question is, it says Department of Justice, correct?
As I've said, Your Honor, hindi ho ako ang nag-file. May inutusan ho ako.
Do you see it in the screen and do you
Your
see it
Honor,
in the hard
witness-
copy?
Counsel asked and answered, move on. That's
Okay.
the response of the witness.
So will you agree that considering that this was supposed to be received by the DOJ, it is only the DOJ that has the authority to change the date?
Again, you asked the DOJ, sir. Wala ho akong
Exactly.
idea dyan.
All right.
Counsel for the prosecution, kindly avoid.
All right, but
side
this
remarks.
is not from the DOJ. This is your copy. This is a receiving copy. So when you receive back your receiving copy, you did not bother checking this portion?
Your Honor, hindi ako personally nag-receive niyan.
But this is your affidavit of investigation.
Objection argumentative, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
Asked and answered, move on, counsel.
All right. My question to you now is this. The discrepancy is not 1 day or 2 days. The discrepancy is from Feb 12 to January 30. So it is a substantial discrepancy. My question to you is this. Who changed this
Objection.
date?
Objection, Your
If
Honor.
you know.
That's misleading, Your Honor. My goodness, that's misleading. This counsel is assuming that somebody changed what? The counsel failed to elicit any answer from this witness. And now the counsel is conceiving that somebody change that and confronting our witness with that. Misleading. This is the classic case of a misleading question. You
Counsel-
assume something that has yet to be established. That's not how we do it, with all due respect.
Council for Respondent, I think you made your point and you gave a copy to the senator judges, and we see your point.
All right.
Go on.
But my more important observation is this.
Objection, Your Honor, please. You are supposed to ask questions. and
Yes,
not
I will.
make
I will go to the
Kindly-
question. I will go to the question.
Kindly allow counsel for respondent to finish his question. He may just still be laying the basis. You may
Thank you,
proceed,
Your Honor.
counsel.
That's precisely
for
what
respondent.
I'm doing, Your Honor. Can I direct everyone's attention to the date appearing at the bottom portion of this document?
Oh,
It says
counsel-
here,
Counsel, technically not everyone, just the witness.
Yes.
And let's see if the witness can answer your question.
it says here February 11, 2025. So in other words, it was and it says here subscribed before NBI agent Ricarte. In other words, the date of the document is February 11, but it was received on January 30, 2025 by the DOJ. Do you have any explanation for this? That's the
Objection,
question.
Your Honor. Objection. This witness is incompetent to attest to that exactly because he said he is not aware of this series of facts. I know where the counsel for respondent is going. Unfortunately for him, his line of argument was already nipped in the bud when this witness said he is not aware of that. He should move on to other points.
Your Honor, the witness said that the investigation date, this investigation data form was attached to the original affidavit of investigation. And we want an explanation why there is a discrepancy on the date. The witness is a lawyer.
Exactly.
He has
that's
an
the point.
experience, Your Honor, in filing cases. We just want to know, Your Honor. We want to get to the bottom of this
I have to object
matter.
to that. I have to
If-
object to that.
Considering
the
also,
witness-
Your Honor, that this is about
Will
transparency.
the parties please settle down? If the witness knows,
Yes.
Attorney LOTOC, do you know? Can you explain the discrepancy, or are you personally aware of the discrepancy?
I cannot explain this, Your Honor. Unang-una, hindi ako nakapirma dito, hindi ako nag-receive. At wala akong ideya dito sa...
But Attorney LOTOC, you see the point that the counsel for respondent is trying to make, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
That the
But,
date of receipt was changed to 1/30, January 30, but it was subscribed to on February 11. Meaning, you see it, but you have no personal knowledge how that came about.
yes, Your Honor. I don't have...
Move on,
personal-
counsel.
So, doesn't this demonstrate that that the document was
Allow
tampered
counsel to
with?
finish.
Doesn't this demonstrate, if you know that this document was tampered with, does
Objection,
that
Your Honor.
demonstrate that?
Exactly. He's now arguing with our witness, Your Honor.
Sustained. Move on, counsel. Move on to your next topic, counsel.
Your Honor, but you agree, Attorney Lotok, that the IDF is not a simple cover letter, correct?
Ask and answered, Your Honor.
Okay, in fact, it is an affidavit, correct?
Yeah.
An IDF is an affidavit, correct?
An ID? I don't think so, Your Honor. It's not an affidavit, Your Honor. It's
The investigation data form.
it's not an affidavit.
So you don't agree. So in other words, this certification part here, and with the subscribed and sworn to, it is for you. This is not an affidavit.
Argumentative, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I just
Objection,
I just made my
argumentative.
question more specific, Your Honor. There is a part here, subscribed and sworn to, and the witness is. I want to ask the witness if he considers this document as an affidavit despite this portion. What's the answer? Is it an affidavit or
Attorney
not?
LOTOC, is this sworn to? Is this document sworn to? The what's the title of the instrument again? Can you go up?
Investigation data form, Your Honor.
Is an investigation data form subscribed and sworn to by the person filing it? To your knowledge.
Yes, Your Honor. There is subscribed and sworn to before this 11th day of February and signed by the administrating officer.
Okay.
And as law practitioners, we know that when we file a case before the office of the city prosecutor, this actual page is signed and subscribed before the public prosecutor,
Your
correct?
Honor, again. Objection.
If you know, you are a lawyer
Continued
and you are
objection
a
as to-
supervisor
If
of
I
your
may.
department. I'm just asking a basic question.
I am
As a law practitioner, as a lawyer, you know that this IDF is signed and subscribed before the public prosecutor when you file a case, correct?
If I may object, Your Honor, continuing objection as to the relevance of this series of
Noted,
questions.
same
Your Honor, please.
ruling. Witness may answer if he knows.
Again, Your Honor, before the prosecutor?
Correct. In normal cases, the IDF is subscribed and sworn to before the public prosecutor, correct?
Well, in this case, Your Honor, it was administered by Assistant Director Glenn Ricarte, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm glad you pointed that out. Isn't Ricarte from the NBI?
Yes, Assistant Director po siya.
In other words, this is a DOJ document, but you made your subscription before an NBI agent. Isn't that supposed to be before the DOJ agent?
But again, wala akong personal knowledge dyan sa details na yan, sir. Siguro tanungin nyo kung sino ho yung naka-affix ang signature.
All right.
dyan, sir.
But what is worse, if I can direct
Your Honor,
your...
objection. Another objection, Your Honor. You know, this council is in the habit of inserting,
Your Honor,
adding value
if we
to
may
what is otherwise.
Just be allowed to continue, Your Honor. This is our time. We've given them enough leeway, Your
Counsel for
Honor,
the
after more than
prosecutors,
hours.
Let him lay the basis of his question.
Yes.
All right. Can I direct your attention to the upper right portion of this IDF? It states docketed 3/7/2025, and there is a docket number XBI-INV-25C-00048. Again, this is not with the source of this document is not the DOJ. This is your receiving copy, correct? In fact, this was part of the subpoena documents which you sent to the House of Committee on Justice, correct?
Objection. Compound questions. 2 questions.
Okay, I'll
Kindly reform, counsel.
so, all right. My question is this, okay? So, do you confirm that there is a marking on the upper right which says docketed 3/7/25, and there's a docket number assigned?
In this document, sir, yes.
All right. We manifest, Your Honor, that this is still the same Annex G9. So in other words, you're telling this court that this document was subscribed on February 11, 2025, received on January 30, 2025, and docketed on whatever it is, July 3 or March 7, 2025. Is that what you're saying?
That's compound. That's compound. You're asking 2 dates and asking for 1 question.
No, Your Honor, I just described the document
Exactly.
as it
Compound
is.
question. Ask 1 question per date. That is exactly the genius why we don't allow compound questions. You're asking 2 questions and asking this witness to answer once. That's dangerous. That's
Counsel,
compound question.
Counsel, presiding officer will clarify the matter. Questions were earlier asked already with respect to the February subscription and the January 30 receipt. Insofar as the docketing is concerned, do you see the numbers and or dates 3/7/25, Attorney LOTOC?
Yes, Your Honor, in this document, there is number 3/7/25.
And for clarity, NPS docket means National Prosecution Service.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct?
Opo. Yes,
So
Your
it's a
Honor.
docket of the National Prosecution Service.
Yes, Your Honor.
Proceed, counsel.
All right. So now I'm showing you pages 169, 168, 169 also of Annex G9. This pertains to the affidavit of Agent Kalilung, which is an attachment now to the revised affidavit of investigation. You added this document to rectify the January 30 affidavit of investigation, correct?
Again, sir?
You added this document in order to rectify the January 30, the first affidavit of investigation, correct? And we will confront you with the document. Again, these are not our documents.
The document was signed by Agent Mark Kalilong and subscribed and sworn to before Attorney Van Homer Angluben. Sir.
Okay. So in other words, I just want to take a look on the date. Can we flash the date? So when you received the February 5 certification from the DOJ, you executed this, and it was February 10.
Objection.
correct?
No,
I'm not the one
that's
who
now
executed
misleading.
it.
That's misleading. It's Agent Calilo who executed that, and then you're asking, you executed that. That's misleading.
No, no,
It's
no, no,
clear
but-
on the record.
But this is part of the revised affidavit of investigation, which this
Objection,
witness
revised.
co-signed.
The
If he
witness
knows-
already said
if
that
he
they
knows.
did not revise it. They just complied. Misleading, Your Honor.
Oh, you want to
Misleading.
go? Okay, since the,
Counsel, kindly settle down. The question, Attorney LOTOC, is did you add, in order to comply with the DOJ requirement, this affidavit signed by Agent Calilong? And is the date February 10? Meaning in compliance with the DOJ observation, is this one of the affidavits that you added? And is it dated?
Although I don't have my record, it appears so, Your Honor, based on the document shown to me by the counsel.
Both as to the fact that it was one of the affidavits added and as to the date, Attorney LOTOC.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
All
Go
right.
on, Counsel.
I am showing you another affidavit. This is page 178, 179 of Annex G9. This now pertains to the Geran affidavit. This was also an attachment to the revised affidavit of investigation.
Objection again, Your Honor, please. The continuing use of revise, when this witness already said that they did not revise anything, they just complied with the requirement. That's now misleading.
Your Honor, just
many
to-
times over, misleading.
All right, just to put this issue at rest, Your Honor, I'm confronting the witness with a letter to Richard Anthony D. Fadulion dated February 11, 2025. And I want to read, Your Honor, the last paragraph thereof. It says, to support our recommendation, attached herein is the revised affidavit of investigation. This is not our document. This is the NBI's document. Can Attorney LOTOC be confronted with this document, please?
It
Attorney
was signed.
LOTOC, please answer.
Yes, Your Honor. It was signed by then Director Judge Jaime B. Santiago.
Can you confirm the last sentence for the record? Can you read it for the record?
To support the recommendation, attached herein is the revised affidavit of investigation, including its attachment.
Can you repeat the word before the word affidavit of
Ask and
investigation,
answered,
please?
Your Honor. Ask
Asked
and
and
answered.
answered. So,
Then I'm not misleading after all. Anyway,
Objection, Your Honor. That's an unnecessary statement. Counsel, you're supposed to ask questions and not make these remarks.
counsels, kindly settle down. We're about to wind up the day.
all right. I'm showing you now pages, proceed, 178 to 179 of the revised affidavit of investigation. Can you be confronted with that document? The date is February 10, 2025. I just want to confirm the date if that is correct. As it
Date-
appears from the document.
As it appears here, 10th day of February 2025.
Oh, very well. I am showing you now pages 187 to 188 of Annex G9, also a Kalilong affidavit, which is an attachment to the revised affidavit of investigation. Can we flash the date of that document?
What's the question?
Also February 10. So in other words, you attach this to your revised affidavit of investigation.
It appears here, 10th day of February 2025, sir.
And you attached it to your affidavit of investigation, correct?
As an attachment, sir.
All right, very good. Now, showing you 199 to 200 of Annex G9. Now, this is the Asuncion affidavit. And I'll make a point in a couple of questions, Your Honor. Can you just confirm the date also and if it was attached to your revised affidavit of investigation?
10th day, it appears here, 10th day of February 2025.
All right. So it was attached also to your revised affidavit of investigation.
Assumption. Yes.
All right. Now this is the question. I'm showing you now page 112 of Annex G9, another Kalilong affidavit. Did you also add this to rectify your January 30 affidavit of investigation or the first affidavit of investigation? We have here a soft copy, affidavit of transcription Was this also a document that was lacking in your first affidavit of investigation, which you added to your revised affidavit of investigation?
Again, Your Honor, registering my continuing objection as to the relevance of this series of questions that is consuming the entirety of the defense's turn to cross-examine this witness. What's the relevance?
Noted. Same ruling. Witness may answer.
Again, Your Honor,
Was this also part of the revised affidavit of investigation to rectify the defects that we highlighted a while ago?
no, there was no rectification. There was no defect. Again, this is part of the compliance. Given us by the Department of Justice for us to comply.
All right, if you want to use that term. So in other words, after you received the Feb 5 certification, this was also one of the documents that you attached to your revised affidavit of investigation. Correct?
I believe so, part of the compliance.
All right.
Sir?
My issue is this. Let me direct your attention to the bottom portion of this affidavit. It says here, in witness hereof, I have, can you zoom that in? I can't read it. The date is February 3, 2025. Can you zoom that in? So in other words, you are trying to convince this court that when you...
What's the question? What's the question?
This is the question. Are you trying to convince this court that you executed this affidavit prior?
Objection, misleading.
He did not execute
not.
the
No,
affidavit.
sorry. You attached this affidavit prior to the Feb 5, 2025 certification?
Prior to what, Your Honor? February 10?
Okay. You received a certification on February 5, 2025,
Yep.
correct? And you said that you added affidavits after receipt thereof. Now, you mentioned a while ago that this was one of the affidavits that you added, and yet the date came prior to the DOJ certification dated February 5, 2025. Do you confirm this?
I think ang makakasagot po niyan si Agent Calilong, Your Honor, kasi may mga attachment na kami during the first affidavit na-include na doon sa mga nire-require ng prosecutor na nandun na. And then nung nag-issue ang prosecutor gaya po ng number 2, the press briefing, sige muna. Ito, Your Honor, gaya ng number 1, there is no affidavit of the persons who recorded the video entitled BP November 23, Press Con at Batasan through OBS. When in truth and in fact, kasama ho na in-attach na doon yung affidavit of authentication doon sa unang affidavit.
So in other words, you're telling this court that the DOJ made this mistake? That there was no...
Not necessarily, Your Honor. Pwedeng hindi nakita ng prosecutor na naka-attach na yun. Kasi
hindi lang
nandun
nakita.
po sa date na January 30 yung execution ng affidavit of authentication.
Your Honor, if before we continue, Your Honor, I'm noticing something, Your Honor, please. The defense is in the process, has been presenting portions of an alleged document, and they're making notes. Oh, I don't think that's proper, Your Honor. When you present a document, you present the document as is. You don't make annotations.
Exactly, Your
Note
Honor.
number 2, that's not proper, Your Honor.
We are presenting the actual document and we're confronting it. This is just to address, Your Honor, what was intimated by the senators that they want to be able to follow the discussion, Your Honor, using the screen.
If I may, my problem with that, Your Honor, please, because it's like you presenting your observation on a document and you're showing that to the court when what you're supposed to do is just to confront this witness with a document without any annotations. That's just my observation, Your Honor.
Noted. Counsel, please proceed. For respondent, please proceed.
Meaning, but if you go to the contents, right? It says here, and let me read, the press briefing conducted on October 18, 2024 was not recorded and or stored in a DVD. No video submitted and there was no TSN of the said briefing. And do you confirm now that this note on Feb 5 was actually addressed by the affidavit submitted by Agent Calilo?
What? Come
But
again, sir?
this note was satisfied by the submission of the affidavit by Agent Calilo.
What affidavit, sir?
The affidavit of transcription dated February 3.
But can I see the affidavit, sir?
Yeah.
Para lang sure.
The one that we
okay.
showed a while ago. It pertains to the same because if you read here, if I may be allowed to read paragraph 1, can you zoom that in? Or no, paragraph 2, it says there, in relation to the ongoing investigation, the undersigned was tasked to transcribe. So this transcribed the screen-recorded video of the press conference of VP Sara on 18 October 2024. So in other words, this was exactly what the DOJ required, correct?
Yeah, base certification na in-issue, ang sabi ng DOJ, the press briefing conducted in October 18, 2024 was not recorded and was stored in a DVD. There was no TSN of the said briefing and the necessary affidavit of the person taking the TSN.
And yet, on its face, this was, because the date is February 3, on its face, this was executed prior to the Feb 5, 2025 certification, which noted this requirement.
As I've said, Your Honor, ang nag-uusap ho dyan, ang prosecutor at saka si Agent Calilong, may mga attachment ho kasi nung first affidavit na hindi napansin ng prosecutor. So
That's your answer. Okay. So, but the thing is, if I let's go back to the IDF, investigation data form. Now, the docket number that is indicated here is XVI INV 25C-0008. But in the Feb 5 2025 certification, can we flash that? The docket number is different, appears to be different. It's XVI eval INV 25A-0049. Moreover, in the subsequent DOJ certification dated Feb 14, 2025, the docket number is also XVI.INV-25A-0049. Do you confirm the difference in the docket numbers?
Your Honor, no personal knowledge and DOJ ho ang naglagay ng docket number niyan.
But do you confirm that it was different? These are all received copies.
Ask and answer, Your Honor, please. Ask and answer, argumentative.
No, the answer is not responsive.
Counsel, move on.
So in other words, despite the discrepancy in numbers, you still decided to push through with the case.
What, Your Honor?
Despite the discrepancy in docket numbers, you still decided to push through with the handling of this case, correct?
Again, I cannot confirm on the numbers because it's the DOJ who placed that number, sir. Ulitin ko ho, mas maganda ho tanungin nyo ang Department of Justice, sir. Chan.
But insofar as you are concerned, as you are the complainant in this case, correct? Insofar as you are concerned, what is the correct docket number? Is it the one ending in 0049?
I will now object.
Or
I will now
is it the
object.
one ending in 004? What they used, Your Honor?
I will now object on the ground of misleading. You showed two docket numbers which appear different. And you have yet to establish that there is a wrong one and a correct one. And you have not established that. This witness said he is not aware of that. You have not established that there is something to be corrected. That's why the objection now, Your Honor, please. That's misleading. You assume that something is wrong that has to be corrected. Misleading.
Counsel, witness is not competent to answer your question. He already responded that this is a DOJ form, but he is not aware, and that it might be proper to ask the DOJ instead at the proper time. Move on with another point, Counsel. I think we've unless there's another inconsistency, you can move on to another inconsistency or another point.
Your Honor, just one last on this point. But in terms of what you followed, because as we know, you submit subsequent pleadings as to these two docket numbers. Which one did you follow? The 00048 or the 0049?
Well, I don't have the record here, Your Honor. If I can check my own record.
Do you have it
Can
with
you
you
do
now?
that now?
Counsel, can you give him a copy of his record?
Yung full record. Tingnan ko. Yeah.
The chair finds that relevant because in filing additional pleadings or other materials to the DOJ, they need to indicate the NPS number for reference. So which one are you following? Which one did you follow subsequent to this?
Yes, sir. February. Wala rito ah. Ito ba? Well, wala ho rito, sir. Teka. Ang naalala ko, sir, yung sa investigation data form, dated February 11.
Ano pong nakalagay na NPS docket number doon? Meron po ba?
Yun po, sir, ang hindi ko, Your Honor, hindi ko po ma-confirm kung anong NPS docket number. Ito ba yun? Teka, saan ang NPS ito?
Your Honor, may we just manifest for the record that the witness is perusing the IDF investigation data form that is attached to the articles of impeachment, Annex G9.
So noted.
Well, this is the document from the defense, Your Honor. I cannot confirm, Your Honor. As of the
Move on,
moment, I
counsel.
cannot confirm.
But this is as received, correct? So in other words, you just received the document and you didn't bother to
Argumentative.
To check.
Objection.
Counsel, let him finish, but indeed it is argumentative. Move on to the next question, Counsel. With the permission of Senator Judge Tulfo, are you winding up or not yet, Counsel? Not yet?
far from it, Your Honor.
Then Senator Judge Tulfo is recognized. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Tulfo?
Just manifestation,
You may
Mr.
proceed, sir.
Presiding Judge. And question as well. Mr. Witness,
You have 2 minutes.
okay. Mr. Witness, a lot of questions were asked to you regarding the filing with the Office of the DOJ, in particular, regarding the docketing, dating, subscription for an investigation data form. Now, can you tell this court what exactly is your role and what did you do in relation to the filing of this investigation data form? Ano yung pinaka-role mo talaga dito?
I
Yung
instruct,
papel mo talaga rito?
yes, Your Honor, I instructed the executive officers as well as the agent on case to file our referral to the Department of Justice. So sila na ho ang nag-ayos niyan, sir, insofar as the investigation data form, insofar as other requirements. Ang instruction ko is comply with the requirement given by the Department of Justice, and then you submit it, and then kung ano yung kanilang guidance, you comply with it.
Okay, Mr. Presiding Judge, in my humble opinion, I think the errors in the investigation data form should be answered by the receiving office, and I think he's not, hindi siya talaga yung dapat sumagot sa mga katanungan na ibinabato sa kanya ngayon. Mukhang hindi siya really that qualified at sumasablay-sablay itong taon to. Thank you.
Noted. Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo, thereafter Senator Judge Alan Cayetano.
Quick question, Mr. Presiding Officer, to the witness and
You
to
have 2
the
minutes, sir.
prosecution or prosecutor here. Mr. Witness, kailan mo ba talaga final itong kaso laban kay VP?
Yung una na affidavit po, Your Honor, nag-file kami January 30, if I'm not mistaken.
Taon po, anong taon?
2025, sir.
2025.
And then nag-require po ang Department of Justice ng compliance dahil sabi nga nila nung una na certification insufficient for conduct of preliminary investigation and must be referred for a case build-up. Now, ang ginawa po namin, kinumply po namin yung kanilang mga requirements. And then, come 11 February 2025, niresubmit po namin yung aming affidavit of investigation, Your Honor.
Nasaan na po itong kaso? Naisampa na po ba ng DOJ o hindi pa?
I think ongoing po ang preliminary investigation.
1 year, preliminary. 1 year, over 1 year. January to January is 1, February, March, April, May, June, July. Is that normal for the DOJ to conduct a preliminary about over a year, Mr. Witness?
Di ko po masasagot, sir.
Hindi ninyo
Sorry po.
masagot.
Sa
Could it
DOJ.
be, hindi po kayo nagtatanong sa kanila, Sir, ano problema? Bakit hindi po pa naisasampa sa korte yung aming isinampang kaso dito sa inyo? Hindi ko kayo nagtataka?
Ang alam ko, sir, Your Honor
No,
po,
hindi kayo nagtanong po sa kanila kung bakit? May kulang pa po ba DOJ? Ano po ang kakulangan?
Pag ang referral po, Your Honor, is nasa DOJ na, hands off na ho kami doon. Sila ho ang magde-decide noon kung paano nila ipoprocess yung dokumento.
Kaya nga, hindi po kayo nagtataka. Hindi kaya, sir, dito sa mga nakita po natin mga ebidensya rito, mukhang sablay-sablay, parang minadali ho ninyo. Ay kaya nagkakaproblema ho tayo sa mga korte natin na i-dismiss sa mga kaso dahil kulang ang mga dokumento at parang minadali. But nevertheless, you don't have to answer me that. Let me direct my question now to the prosecutors. Mr. Prosecutor,
Yes.
ito po mga ebidensya na nakita ho natin, hindi pa ninyo ni-review na may mga nakita, hindi nyo nakita itong inconsistencies. Doon nga po sa sinasabi ng defense na pinirmahan, sinubscribe, pero mas maaga yung pagtanggap.
Your Honor, as to whether we perused that, Your Honor, please. Unfortunately, we were not party to the preparation of this.
No, but this was
documents.
submitted
Yes, Your Honor.
as evidence, right?
Yes, Your Honor,
Correct.
please. Yes, Your Honor, please. That's why this
Pero-
witness is more than competent to answer that. But the main point of the prosecution, Your Honor, please, they already filed and complied with these requirements and addressed these defects, if you may, by filing a February 10, 2025 affidavit investigation. That's why, if you have observed our good Senator Judge, we have been objecting as to the relevance of this. Exactly because what is in contention now is the latest affidavit of investigation that is now pending before the DOJ, Your Honor, please.
All right. And just a quick manifestation to the NBI. Mr. Witness, next time po pag nagsampa ho kayo ng kaso, make sure, kaya nga I was asking you kanina, I already have this feeling something is wrong dahil sobrang tagal na sa DOJ ng kaso ninyo. There's something wrong with the case. Siguro po, next time, make sure na yung kaso isasampa ninyo is airtight. Tama po. Kasi madidismiss yan. Yung mga kaso na medyo hindi po tight talaga ang kaso. Ano po?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sayang naman yung inyong pinaghirapan. Doon, ang dami natin nakita. Totoo po lang na nagmura ang vice-presidente, nagbanta ang vice-presidente. Sa ngayon naman po ako, nakita ko naman po yun. Pero pagdating po yan, usually pag sa technicalities tayo nagkakaproblema. Don't forget that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Quick manifestation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Noted, Senator Judge Erwin Tulfo. Senator Judge Alan Cayetano, you have 2 minutes, sir.
Less than 2 minutes, quick clarification lang. So January 30, yung unang affidavit of investigation.
Yes,
Tama?
sir.
January 30, tapos February 5, yun yung sagot ng DOJ na may 7 notes.
Yes, Your Honor.
At February 5, yun din ang filing nung impeachment complaint against Vice President Sara Duterte. And then, which you said wala kang knowledge doon. I'm just looking at the dates. Then February 10, yung revised na dun sa mga, ang ginamit ng DOJ word insufficiency, yung 1 to 7, na punuan, no? Or whatever the term is. So, ang sagot ng witness, sir, sagot mo yung February 3, baka attachment lang kasi nung una yon.
Yes, sir, I think so. Sir.
Pero hindi siya pwedeng attachment nung una kasi January 30 sinubmit yun eh. So hindi ka naman pwede mag-submit ng January 30 na attachment mo February 3. So you went 3 days into the or 4 days into the future kasi may 31 yung January.
Well, sir, siguro ang makakasagot po niyan si Agent Calilong, sir, since
Okay,
siya ang
yeah.
signatory doon.
I don't think you can answer it. Point ko lang, hindi logical na it was an attachment sa January 30 because wala pang February 3 nun eh. So hindi pwedeng post-dated affidavit. Second question lang, sa parehong investigative affidavit of investigation na sinubmit, walang input doon ang PSG, ISAF, PSC, ISAF, CIDG. So kayo lang yan.
A statement, Your Honor, yung in-attach po namin.
Yes. So what I meant is that questions kanina nung many here, including the Senate President, Win Gatchalian, na did you consult the investigation ng PSC, etc. So nung final nyo to, walang input directly or indirectly ang Presidential Security Command, ang ISAF, ang PNP, CIDG, and anyone else, the National Security Council. So purely NBI to.
No personal knowledge kung merong correspondence ng ibang agency with the director.
Sorry, hindi kayo pwedeng walang personal knowledge kasi ikaw nag-file eh. Ikaw nakapirma dun sa affidavit. So you would know whether dun sa affidavit na yon they had input or not. No
Yes,
one
Your
else
Honor.
could know because you're the one who signed it.
Yes, Your Honor. Insofar the Cybercrime Division is concerned, kami po yun yung gumawa
Yes.
noon.
So the answer is they had no input.
Hindi ko alam kung... well, insofar as the affidavit is concerned, amin po yun, Your Honor. Now, kung correspondence between other agencies and the NBI, hindi ko na po alam kung may usapan
Okay.
yung
Thank you.
director
Thank you,
at saka ibang
Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Judge Cayetano, Senator Judge Ontiveros. Thereafter, Senator Judge Ejercito. Am I correct, JV? Senator Judge Ontiveros is recognized. You may proceed. You have 2 minutes, ma'am.
Salamat po, Mr. Presiding Officer. Less than 2 minutes din po. Attorney LOTOC, sa gitna nung DOJ certification dated February 5, 2025 at yung pag-submit nyo ng kompletong affidavit of investigation na tinanggap na ng DOJ, may nagbago po ba sa di umanong sinabi ng Vice Presidente?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Wala. At sa gitna ng DOJ certification dated February 5, 2025 at yung pag-submit nyo ng kumpletong affidavit of investigation na tinanggap na ng DOJ, may nagbago po ba sa rekomendasyon ng NBI?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Salamat po, Attorney Lotoc. Salamat po, Mr.
Thank you,
Presiding
Senator
Officer.
Judge Ontiveros. Senator Judge Ejercito, you may proceed, sir. When you're ready, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Attorney Lotoc, may
Opo, Your Honor.
dagdag clarification lang. The DOJ pointed out in its certification, yung pong pinakita kanina, noong February 5, 2025, that the NBI is not the proper offended party to file a complaint for grave threats and referred its initial referral for case build-up. As a result of the referral for case build-up by the DOJ, did the NBI later submit affidavits or statements from the offended parties, namely si Presidente Marcos, First Lady, at si former Speaker Martin Romualdez?
Hindi na po, Your Honor. Nung sinabit ho namin yung aming referral, yun po yung last phase ng investigation. And I think yung prosecutor na ho mag-i-issue ng summon sa mga parties involved. Ang purpose lang ho namin to comply with the requirements of preliminary investigation po.
But earlier sa inyo pong statement, sinabi nyo na ang isa sa mga factors no sa pag-evaluate ng threat, if it is really serious, is through determination of the relationship no, between the parties. Sinabi niyo po yun kanina.
Yes po, Your Honor.
So, did you try at least to get the statements of the President, the First Lady, or the House of, or the Speaker of the House, former Speaker?
Ang pinagbasihan po namin, Your Honor, yung official statement nila dun sa website ng Presidential Communications Office, and then yung public statement ng former speaker during the plenary session on November 25, 2024, sir.
So, that was the basis yung pong nasa PCO website. So, you did not bother to get the statements from the offended parties?
I think nung nakita ko namin yung video na nag-issue ng statement yung presidente, na-establish namin yung requirement kung ano yung treatment ng presidente nung marinig niya yung utterances ng vice presidente. So, nung nakita namin yon na may reaksyon, ang sabi nga niya is nakakabahala. Based sa aming primary jurisdiction, nag-start to kami ng investigation, sir.
Kanina rin, tinanong ko yung tungkol doon sa revised affidavit of investigation, no? Which you submitted after the DOJ referred to the case for case build-up in its certification doon nga sa February 5, 2025. You mentioned that is just a compliance on the part of the NBI.
Your Honor, ito ho yung part ng evaluation at saka case build-up process. Pag nakita ho ng prosecutor na may kulang pang mga attachment para ho mabuo, maging pulido yung kaso, nagbibigay ho sila ng mga requirement. O NBI, kulang ka nito, i-comply mo to para maidakit natin sa preliminary investigation.
So normal lang po yun, no? Sa investigation agency na magsabit ng additional evidence or revise the affidavits after the case is referred back by the DOJ for case build-up.
As part po ng evaluation at case build-up process, nagtutulungan ho dyan, Your Honor, yung prosecutor and then yung investigator base doon sa requirement ng DC-15, Your Honor.
You mentioned that, last point, Mr. Presiding Officer, you mentioned that the case before the DOJ is still ongoing.
Yes po.
So as of today, Atty. Lotok, there is still no determination by the DOJ if the case referred by the NBI should be filed in court because there is prima facie evidence of reasonable certainty of conviction.
Well, Your Honor, wala pa po kaming nare-receive na any updates from the Department of Justice. Ang alam po namin is nasa PI pa ho siya, preliminary investigation process, Your Honor.
Thank you, Atty. Lotok. Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you po, Your Honor.
Noted and entered into the records. Attorney VINLUAN, you may continue with your cross.
Your Honor, I believe that there's a hanging question. Insofar as the NBI is concerned, what docket number did they follow? 00048 or 0049?
What's the response of the witness if he knows?
Your Honor, I don't have the complete affidavit. So I cannot confirm, sir.
So you do not know what NPS docket number the NBI is using whenever it files subsequent pleadings to the NBI to the DOJ regarding this case?
Definitely there is that IDF, there is that NPS. Hindi ko lang po, Your Honor, ma-ensure kung anong NPS number po yon.
Ang ginagamit ninyo?
Ang ginamit. Pero nandoon po yon, Your Honor. Naka-attach po yon sa affidavit of investigation.
Proceed, counsel.
So you cannot confirm which between the two.
As at the moment, hindi ko po hawak yung...
Yeah, but what if we show you, as I said, what if we show you the certification dated February, two certification, can you be guided?
Ask and answer, Your Honor.
Counsel, he already
what's-
looked at the
what's the
documents earlier before the senator judges intervened, and he couldn't. Mr. Witness, Mr. Attorney Lotok, what document did you peruse earlier? The annex to the impeachment complaint, right?
Annex to the...
That was the document shown to you by counsel for the respondent earlier.
Yes, Your Honor.
Upon your perusal of that document, can you say what the NPS docket number is that NBI uses?
Your Honor, isa lang ho ang nandito na IDF. So isa lang yun nandito, Your Honor, hindi ko makita yung isa pa. Ang nandito na naka-attach na IDF is yung 11 February 2025. So kung ito ho ang tinutukoy, ang nakasulat ho rito na NPS docket number 16-INV-25C-00048, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the certifications, the two certification also has docket numbers. Can we just ask him to peruse this so that he can make up his mind which of the two docket numbers they followed?
Then confront him with the document, counsel.
Your Honor, we are
is your
showing-
what is your co-counsel showing him?
We are showing the document February 5 and February 14, which as I mentioned, contains 0049 as the ending docket number. Maybe just know, Your Honor, if that was the docket number that was followed by the NBI following the filing.
Counsel,
I have-
counsel, before you answer, Attorney LOTOC, counsel, the first form, can you bring it up again? That's not an investigation form, right? That's a DOJ form.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, this is a receiving copy, Your Honor, because all of these were subpoenaed again from the NBI but not from the DOJ. So these were transmitted to the House Committee on Justice by subpoena. So in
By
other-
who? The NBI?
submitted by the NBI. That's correct, Your Honor. And this was the basis that was used by the House Committee on Justice in filing the articles of impeachment before this impeachment court. So in other words, Your Honor, the agencies involved herein are just four. Test certification that you received from the DOJ.
Your Honor, yung nandito na pinapakita sa akin is yung certification from the DOJ 05 February 2025 and investigation data form dated February 11, 2025.
So which is which, Attorney LOTOC? Is it 00049 or 48? The earlier one or the late?
I have here the second second certification from the DOJ which says sufficient for conduct of preliminary investigation, reference number 16 -INV-25A-00049, sir.
So the 49 is the latest one and is thus valid. Is
Yeah,
that
I
what
believe
you're
so.
saying?
Ito yung may sufficient for
All right. Okay. Now, let me direct your attention to the subpoena issued against the Vice President on April 29, 2025. This is the subpoena. And the issue is that the docket number is 0048. In other words, the VP Sara was made to answer to the earlier case that was docketed as such. Do you confirm this? You were part of this, correct? As the complainant.
Your Honor, can I object now, Your Honor, please? If I may, Your Honor, please.
What's the objection?
If I may, I will explain.
May-
Your Honor, I would like to object, Your Honor, please. This witness is incompetent because he is now being confronted with docket numbers supplied by agencies other than him.
If he knows, Your Honor,
That's
he was
exactly-
the complainant. Your Honor, he
Counsel-
was the supervising agent. It
Counsel,
says there
this is a
complaint-
DOJ document. Objection is sustained. Witness is not competent to answer these questions. You can call your witness to testify as to these documents belonging to the DOJ. Kindly move on, counsel. We've been at this for quite some time.
I'll move on. My next question is, the NBI's own evaluation is merely recommendatory in nature, correct?
yes, Your Honor, recommendation.
Okay. It is not binding upon the DOJ, correct?
The DOJ will assess, Your Honor, and evaluate.
All right.
the
But it's not
recommendation.
binding upon the DOJ.
No,
Kindly
the-
answer the question,
All right.
Attorney LOTOC. You're a lawyer. You know the answer to this question.
yes, sir.
It's not binding upon the courts, correct?
If the DOJ
Your
report-
recommendation, it's not binding upon the courts, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So in Filipino, para maintindihan ng lahat, kahit sabihin ng NBI,
Ask and answered, Your Honor. Ask and answered. He's
Kahit
just
sabihin ng
translating
NBI na
into
may grave-
objection. He's
The-
just translating
the question
into,
is not yet-
but the same question.
all right, kahit sabihin ng NBI na may grave threats or inciting to sedition, it is not binding upon the DOJ, correct?
Ask and answered.
The question earlier was with respect to the courts.
Correct, Your Honor.
Insofar as the DOJ is concerned, Mr. Witness.
Insofar as the DOJ is concerned, the DOJ will evaluate, and pag kulang pa ho yung mga
The
requirement,
question are your findings binding on the DOJ?
not necessary, Your Honor.
So no.
No. All right. So in other words, rekomendasyon lang ang kayang ibigay ng NBI, correct?
Ask and answered.
Asked and answered,
all right.
counsel.
In fact, you attended hearings before the House Committee on Justice in April of this year, correct?
I think so. Nag-appear ako.
You
Hindi ko lang
appeared,
sigurado
okay.
kung anong date yun.
Okay.
Your Honor, I would like to object to this, Your Honor, please. Your Honor, this
Asked and answered, Your Honor.
No, wait.
Can I move on
He's
to
being
the point?
confronted
Counsel,
with...
kindly wait for the
Your
counsel.
Honor, this
for
is
the
highly
prosecutor.
improper. This could fly if this is a committee of justice hearing, but this, with all due respect, is still a court of law. You cannot present clippings like that and confront the witness with that. That's not proper. You should be presenting documents. You cannot do props. Your Honor, please, this is highly irregular. Ask questions. Elicit facts from this witness. Don't use props.
Can I get a ruling on that, Your Honor? Because this
Counsel
is for the purpose of...
is not yet
Correct.
asking any question. He's just laying the basis by asking if he attended previous hearings in the House to test the credibility, perhaps to elicit either contradictory statements or confirmatory statements. Counsel, please proceed.
And one of the committee members there, I think it was Representative Sendanya, even asked for the elements of inciting to sedition. Do you recall that?
I think so, sir.
He also asked for the elements of grave threats, correct?
Yeah, if I remember it right, wala akong, hindi ho ako ang tinanong yata.
All right.
sir.
It was another person, but also from
Yeah.
the NBI, correct?
I think so, sir.
All right. And the NBI explained the elements of these felonies during that hearing, correct?
Hindi ho ako ang nag-explain noon.
But
sir.
another person from the NBI did, and you were present, correct?
I think so, sir.
In fact, Representative Luistro even asked that the salient portions of your affidavit of investigation be flashed on the screen during that hearing, correct? If you can recall.
Siguro, Your Honor, pero di ko maalala.
You're not sure. Okay, that's okay. And when asked whether VP Sara's acts constituted grave threats and inciting to sedition, the NBI answered in the affirmative, correct?
I think so, sir.
Okay. Now, my next question is very simple. Did the NBI at any point in that hearing clarify with the House Committee on Justice and the Filipino people watching then that its own evaluation is not binding upon the DOJ?
Well,
Did you clarify?
I don't think wala akong tanong na ganon sa amin, sir.
So you were not able to clarify that, correct?
Wala ako kasing tanong.
Okay.
Anong ika-clarify ko,
Okay.
sir?
So you were not given an opportunity to clarify
Ask
that
an
your
answer.
own evaluation, this is a different question. Wait for the question. That is not binding upon the courts. So was there an opportunity for you to explain that it was not binding upon the courts?
Wala akong question doon
All
sa
right.
amin, sir.
So in other words, there was no opportunity in that hearing to clarify that your evaluation was mere recommendatory.
Ask and answered, Your Honor, please. 4 times over.
No, the first
Same
question was
point.
binding upon the DOJ. The next question is binding upon the courts. The next question is the nature of the recommendation. Did you clarify at any point in that hearing that your recommendation was merely recommendatory?
Question was, did he clarify or not? Answer kindly, Attorney LOTOC.
Wala pong question sa amin na ganon, sir. So, wala akong kaming na-clarify doon.
Very well. Let's do that now. For the benefit of this honorable court and the Filipino people watching, when the NBI evaluated VP Sara's acts to be grave threats or inciting to sedition, is that binding upon the DOJ?
Your Honor, asked and answered. This is now the
Counsel-
third cycle.
Already asked and answered several times.
I'll move on, Your Honor. Will you agree with me that according to our laws, the authority to determine guilt or innocence of a person lies with the courts,
Yes, sir.
not with the DOJ,
Yes, sir.
not with the NBI?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor,
Sir-
I will now object now, Your Honor, please.
Your
if
Honor,
I may
he's
explain, Your Honor,
competent
please.
enough to answer. Your Honor, he already
I may-
answered.
Counsel, kindly settle down. I know it's late and I know both parties are
Can
tired.
I-
Kindly wait for the chair to recognize you before speaking.
If I may be recognized, Your Honor,
Yes,
please. I am
Attorney
now
Ligutan.
objecting on the ground of relevance of this series of questions. The defense might forget that we are an impeachment court. Okay? And whatever the DOJ may rule on, whatever the court may rule on, the same complaints filed by the NBI against the Vice President, it has no bearing to these impeachment complaints. What I'm saying is, the issues in this case, the question is, did the Vice President betray public trusts? When she declared before the public that she already contracted a
Your Honor,
person-
objection,
Wait,
I
wait, wait,
cross,
wait,
Your
wait.
Honor.
I'm
This is
yet
not the
done.
proper venue for
I
any
was-
manifestation on the part of the
Let
prosecution.
the counsel finish. What? Kindly state your objection, counsel.
Relevance, exactly, Your Honor, please, as to what the court will do, as to what the DOJ will do on the complaints filed by the DOJ, by the NBI, they have nothing to do with the issue in this case. The question is whether the Vice President betrayed public trust by contracting an assassin to kill the President, the Vice President, to kill the President, the First Lady, and the former
Objection
Speaker
again,
House.
Your Honor. It's not the
Irrelevance, Your Honor, please.
proper-
Irrelevance.
Counsel, you know what you're doing as well. So kindly limit it to your objection.
Irrelevance, Your Honor, please.
Counsel for the respondent, the court gets it. Okay, you don't have to spend that much time on this matter. The court gets it, and I think the senator judges are well aware of the limitations of the power of the NBI and the DOJ, as well as the power of the court to decide on the innocence or guilt of the parties. You've established that point. Move on.
In other words, it is only the proper courts that can determine the guilt or innocence of VP Sara in terms
Same.
of grave threats or inciting to
Counsel,
sedition. It's a direct question, Your Honor.
Counsel, all asked and answered. Kindly move on. Kindly move on, counsel. Again, the court gets it. I think the senator judges get it as well as the people who are listening.
All right. My question is this. Are you aware of any final verdict by any court that VP Sara is
Same.
guilty?
Same, Your Honor. Same.
If he is aware.
Witness will answer if he knows.
Well, insofar as the NBI Cybercrime Division is concerned, during that time, I'm not aware.
So, insofar as this case is concerned, no final verdict yet.
I don't know, Your Honor. I don't know. Insofar as the investigation of the NBI is concerned, no personal knowledge.
All right. Now, let me move on to a new point. Do you know what motu proprio means?
Yes, Your Honor.
Motu proprio means on your own or out of your own initiative, correct?
Yes, sir.
Sa madaling salita, voluntary.
Not really, sir.
Not really. Wala nag-utos.
Under the law, we acted based on the law, sir. Because it is our primary jurisdiction to undertake investigation should there be a threat against the security or assault against the person of the President, the Vice President, the Senate President, the Speaker of the House, and the Chief Justice.
Very well. Now, my question is this. Insofar as this case is concerned, did the NBI conduct an investigation motu proprio?
Yes, Your Honor. The fact, kanino ho, Your Honor, yung sinatanong nyo? Conduct an investigation, kanino po?
Insofar as this case is concerned, did you conduct a case motu proprio?
Your Honor, the NBI conducted an investigation motu proprio on November 23, 2024. And on that same date, Your Honor, the Department of Justice directed the NBI to conduct an investigation on the matter.
So, partly motu proprio, partly directed by the DOJ. Is that what you're saying?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. With or without the directive from the DOJ, the NBI has primary jurisdiction on that case, and therefore we can investigate on that particular case. sir.
Yeah, but a while ago, during your direct examination, you admitted that the DOJ secretary directed you, correct?
During that day, yes sir. After na ma-instruct ako ng direktor na mag-imbestiga, then thereafter the Department of Justice directed the NBI na mag-conduct ng investigation.
And did you follow that directive?
Well, it's the Department of Justice. Why should not I follow, sir?
Aren't you an independent body?
Well, Your Honor, under the law, Republic Act 10867, it states there that the Department of Justice can direct the NBI to conduct any investigation when the public interest so requires, sir.
Okay, so the NBI is under the DOJ, correct?
Definitely, sir.
And the DOJ is under the Office of the President, correct?
Yes, sir, under the executive branch, sir.
Meaning the Secretary of the DOJ is under the Office of the President, correct?
No question to that, sir.
No question. So BBM has control over both the NBI and the DOJ, correct?
What do you mean by control, sir?
What's your interpretation of control? You seem to be a smart man.
The Department of Justice and the Office of the President, insofar as the function of the NBI is concerned, hindi ho sila nakikialam doon. Kung ano ho yung findings ng NBI, kung ano ang recommendation, sinasubmit po namin ito sa Department of Justice. And then yung Department of Justice, i-weigh po nila, i-evaluate po nila, and then mag-undergo ng process ng case build-up. Yun ho ang patunay na yung una naming sinubmit, hindi tinanggap ng Department of Justice, meaning ang Department of Justice, pag nakita niya na hindi tama o kulang yung requirement ng NBI, hindi niya ito karakarakang tatanggapin, Your Honor. That's why, insofar as the DC-15 is concerned, nag-require sila ng mga i-comply namin, and then nag-comply kami. That's the time ni-receive ng Department of Justice yung aming referral.
Oh, very well. Just to help you answer, I'll ask a more pointed question. At the time the investigation against VP Sara was being conducted, did BBM had control over the NBI or DOJ?
At the time, the investigation?
Yes.
Well, being the head of the executive branch, sir, yes, the president is the head of the whole of the executive branch, sir.
Very well. Did BBM at any point intervene in this investigation?
Of course not, sir.
Of course not. So did you just admit to this court that there was no participation on the part of BBM?
Again, the purpose of the submission of the affidavit is
No,
for
the
preliminary
question is
investigation, sir.
Business answer.
Can we ask Your Honor
the
that
witness to answer? Witness is in the process.
The purpose of the referral that we submitted to the Department of Justice is for the purpose of preliminary investigation, which under the new rules of the NPS, pwede ho ang law enforcement agency na mag-submit ng complaint affidavit kahit wala yung affidavit ng complainant for purposes of preliminary investigation. So the complaint from the President is not an indispensable requirement insofar as the preliminary investigation is concerned by the DOJ, sir.
So let me clarify. You received instructions to conduct an investigation against VP Sara from the DOJ, which is under the Office of the President, and the investigation, in that investigation, BBM was allegedly one of the offended parties.
Again, Your Honor, hindi ho ako nakatanggap ng
Wait,
direktiba.
there's no
from-
question yet. There's no question yet. And yet, BBM has control over both the NBA and the DOJ.
Your
Is that a fair summation?
Your Honor, now, I will not object now. Ask and answer. Same point, Your Honor, please. Many times over. Control of the President over the DOJ, control of the DOJ over the NBI. Ask and answer
All right.
many times over.
Considering the structure involving the NBI, the DOJ, and the Office of the President, don't you think that there was bias against VP Sara?
I will allow that.
We,
I will not
we,
object, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
Counsel again,
our-
kindly wait for the presiding officer to recognize you. Witness may answer.
our investigation, Your Honor, is evidence-based. Nung pinag-usapan ho namin ito, nung ina-analyze ho namin ito, nung nag-follow kami ng mga phases at analysis, we believe and we agree that among ourselves na buo ang ebidensya, kumpleto ang ebidensya, na-comply natin yung requirement ng prima facie case with reasonable certainty of conviction. And so sinubmit ho namin yan sa DOJ na ang paniwala po namin ay kumpleto ho at na-comply namin yung requirement
All right. Either way,
ng kaso.
okay. Either way, the NBI can initiate its own investigation when necessary, correct?
The NBI can initiate its own investigation.
In fact, you mentioned RA 10867, correct?
Yes, sir.
And please allow me to read Section 5G thereof. It says, cases involving threats to security or assaults against the President, the Vice President, Senate President, Speaker of the House of Representatives, and Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. You confirm this, correct?
Yes, sir.
My next question to you is this. While you conducted a motu proprio investigation to help BBM, FL, and the former speaker, did you also conduct a motu proprio investigation to help VP Sara?
Yes, Your Honor. The fact that we sent a December 2, 2024 letter, we informed the Vice President na iniimbestigahan din namin yung alleged threat laban sa kanya. So kailangan namin makakuha ng valid information, confirmed data or any apparent violation of our revised penal code or any
Alright.
special law. You know yung ang purpose ng letter namin, Your Honor, to inform the Vice President na iniimbestigahan din namin yung alleged threat laban
Your
sa
Honor,
kanya.
it's a yes or no answer. Can we ask the...
Mr. Witness, Attorney LOTOC, this is the second time you've mentioned your December 2 subpoena. So the curiosity of the presiding officer has been picked. In your subpoena of December 2, you issued a subpoena to the Vice President for evidence in a certain investigation. No mention was made of either the investigation pertaining to threats against the President or even threats against the Vice President. But it's the second time you've mentioned that the intent of this one is for the threat against the Vice President. What is your basis, sir, when the subpoena does not contain such a specification of the evidence you will obtain from her?
Your Honor, yung subpoena, nakafocus po yan doon sa investigation namin on the alleged grave threats at inciting to sedition during that time. Yung investigation naman, insofar as the Vice President threat to her life is concerned, meron ho kaming separate na letter nung December 2.
Hindi
2024.
subpoena, letter.
Letter po.
Do we have that on file or on record
sir.
somewhere?
Yes, Your Honor. It was
Is it the pre-marked
Perfect.
marked during trial earlier, Your Honor,
by Agent Kalilong?
by this witness, Attorney LOTOC. That would be P-Roman numeral 4-5, identified by the witness earlier, Your Honor, please.
P-4-5,
-4-5.
Oh, mami.
addressed to Attorney Lim? Attorney LOTOC?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor. Your Honor, I have questions relating to that, Your Honor. Can we...
Just to clarify from the witness, are you referring, Attorney LOTOC, to the letter addressed to Attorney Lim, signed by Assistant Director Ricarte?
Yes, Your Honor. Assistant Director.
This is the one that's referring to the alleged attempt of NBI to investigate the threats against the Vice President.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Okay. Counsel, you may proceed.
All right. In fact, since we're on the topic, let me direct your attention to that NBI letter issued by Glenn Ricarte dated December 2, 2024. Again, for the perusal of the senator judges, this is pages 155 to 158 of the AOI's Annex G9. You confirm this? That this was sent out to the Vice President?
This is, we have this document, Your Honor, signed by AD Glenn Ricarte, dated 02 December 2024.
All right. And do you confirm that the date is December 2, 2024?
Based on this document, sir, yes.
All right. Let me read, and read with me, please, the last two paragraphs. And I'll try to be very clear. It says here, we are hoping that we have assisted you properly. Can we flash that, please? Baba pa. Yan, sa baba. Yeah, we are hoping that we have assisted you properly. We would be grateful if the Vice President will visit the NBI and participate on the ongoing investigation. As the schedule of her appearance, she is anticipated to appear on, can you read the date, please?
11 November 2024 at 10 a.m. at the Office of the Director, National Bureau of Investigation.
So you provided the date, you provided the time and the place where VP Sara is supposed to appear, correct?
Your Honor, this
No,
is...
the answer is very
Since
simple. Just ask
ang
it.
nakasign po rito, yung Assistant Director, and wala akong personal knowledge, I think this is typo kasi nga, nag-reply ang lawyer ng Vice Presidente.
Attorney LOTOC, either you have personal knowledge or not, but neither can you say typo. If you don't have personal knowledge, you cannot say typo.
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry, Your Honor.
So which is it?
I believe
So you don't have personal
I don't have
knowledge?
personal knowledge, Your Honor. Hindi po ako ang
Okay.
sumulat sa letter na to.
Okay.
Again, Your Honor, this is an attachment of the affiant's or the witness's own affidavit of investigation. I understand, Your Honor, and he has been very repetitive on this, that there are documents there that he did not sign. But when you attach something to your own affidavit, Your Honor, you're supposed to at least review them. And clearly, he did not review, and he's even the head. He mentioned that he's the supervisor.
Objection,
Now, my
Your
next
Honor.
question is
Objection. Laying a value to the testimony of the witness. That's improper. You ask him questions. Don't add value. Don't
Kindly
add
ask
value.
a question, counsel.
You stated a while ago that the reason why you did not pursue VP Sara's investigation in order to help her was because of her non-appearance, correct?
We issued 2 subpoenas. The first one, and then
No, I'm not asking
we give her a
you.
chance again to give us information, and then she did not appear for the second time, sir.
But you said it wasn't, the second one was not a subpoena, it was a letter, correct?
Well, the letter is the basis that we conducted motu proprio investigation on the alleged threat against the Vice President. The purpose of the 2 subpoena is also base sa usapan namin ng then Director Jaime B. Santiago. Pag nag-appear ang Vice Presidente, tatanungin din po ng Director namin, Ma'am, pwede mo bang i-share sa amin ano yung threat sa life mo? Baka meron kang information na pwede namin pagsimulan.
Yeah, but
Counsel, allow the presiding officer. Sir, you referred to the letter and the subpoena. As I pointed out earlier, the subpoena does not make mention that you're asking for evidence about the threats against the Vice President. You just said in your subpoena for information regarding what is under investigation by your office. Now, in this letter that you referred to, signed by Assistant Director Ricarte,
Yes, sir.
where can I find too that you're asking the Vice President information about the threat against her? You quoted several instances about the Vice President's statement against the President, but I cannot see a reference to the threat against the Vice President. Now you're telling me again that you intended to ask her when she comes. But
If I may answer po, Your
of course,
Honor.
sir, please.
Thank you. Yes, Your Honor. Kung pwede ko pong basahin.
Please, sir. Kindly guide us po.
Quote, this Bureau wishes her well, and we would acknowledge if she can find a convenient time to visit the NBI, since according to her, she received threats on her life as well. As part of its mandate, the NBI would like to inform her that we are also investigating on the said threats. Her appearance to the NBI will aid us in the expeditious investigation on the said threats, Your Honor.
And then this is the basis for the issuance of your 2 subpoenas against her.
Hindi po. Ang dalawang subpoena, Your Honor, is para dun ho sa grave threats and inciting to sedition.
Para doon na po.
Opo, yun po yung purpose ng dalawang subpoena.
Letter lang yung sa kanya tungkol sa threat sa kanya.
Yes po, Your Honor. Letter lang
Bagaman sa
kanya.
sulat na to, binanggit nyo rin yung threat niya laban sa Pangulo. O ibang sulat po yun?
Your Honor, in-explain ho namin dito kasi doon ho sa may letter ho na sinubmit ang lawyer ni VP, nagtatanong ho siya kung pwedeng makakuha ng copy ng complaint. And then kung ano yung mga itinatanong at itatanong ng NBI sa kanya, in-explain ho dito sa letter na to kung ano yung nature ng complaint.
Yung mga allegation laban sa kanya.
Opo, Your Honor.
Thank you, Attorney LOTOC. Counsel, you may proceed.
But the long and short of it, in that December 2024 letter, you provided a November schedule, correct?
Again, I cannot answer to that. Ang signatory ho ang makakasagot, sir.
So in other words, she could not have attended that November 11, 2024 because as of the date of the letter, it was already December 2, 2024, correct?
Well, Your Honor, yung second letter na sinubmit ng lawyer niya, ang sabi nila doon, the Vice President is confident that the NBI will conduct an investigation on the alleged threat against her life.
Yeah, but despite this error, do you still maintain that the investigation that you conducted was thorough? You used that word a while ago.
Investigation on the alleged threat against the Vice
Correct.
President? We are looking, Your Honor, for a validated information, confirmed information para ho meron kaming pagsimulan. But insofar as my office is concerned, since hindi na ho ako may hawak dyan, baka ho merong ibang tinask ang aming director para dyan, sir.
So as early as December 2, 2024, the NBI has been investigating regarding the threats against VP Sara. Correct?
When we issued the first subpoena and then when we issued the letter dated 02 December 2024, ang intention ho namin noon, i-inform namin siya na nag-iimbestiga din kami, ma'am. Kaya lang, kailangan ho namin ng valid at validated information para ho mapagsimulan namin.
Oh, mali lang yung schedule na nabigay doon sa Vice
Again,
President.
wala akong personal knowledge dun sa scheduling, sir.
Oh no, after more than 1.5 years of investigation, has the NBI come up with a recommendation?
Ask and answered, Your Honor. Ask and answered. Kanina pa.
No. Recommendation on the
Witness
threats
may
against
answer.
VP Sara.
Withdrawn,
Witness may
withdrawn.
answer. This is the investigation pertaining to the threats against the Vice President's life.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Again, since wala ho kaming validated information, wala ho kaming nakitang confirmed doon sa allegation, threats against her life, wala ho kaming mapagsimulan, sir. Wala
So
ho
no,
kaming
that's okay.
mapagsimulan.
Meron din bang affidavit of investigation para kay VP Sara, gaya ng ginawa ng NBI para kay BBM, FL at former speaker?
Since wala ho pa kaming validated information, wala ho kaming mapagsimulan.
So in other words, meron para kay BBM,
Objection.
FL, at there's no question yet, Your Honor.
Yes.
At former speaker, pero wala kay VP Sara.
Argumentative, Your Honor. Argumentative.
That's a
Asked and
factual
answered.
question,
Asked
Your
and
Honor.
answered.
Ask and answered.
Move
Okay.
on, counsel.
If no affidavit of investigation, is there any written report on that investigation?
Anong investigation po, Your Honor?
Yung against VP Sara, may written report man lang ba?
Well, ang makakaalam ho niyan, yung aming intelligence service, sila ho ang may pool of information from different offices.
But as far as you know, wala pang written report on this?
Well, during that time, insofar as the cybercrime investigation is concerned, wala akong nakita na gano'n, sir.
Wala pa.
Noong time na yon,
alright.
sir.
In other words, since wala pang written report, wala pa ring opportunity si VP Sara to supplement any report that you have prepared?
Again, wala akong idea kung mayroon ng written report ang aming intelligence service. Ang alam ko, kung ano lang yung nangyari during nung investigation namin, cybercrime division investigation.
All right, I'll move on to a new point. Now, as an investigating body, the NBI is called to be impartial, correct?
Yes, sir.
Meaning you have to evaluate both sides, not just one side, correct?
What do you mean both sides?
The offending party side and the offended party side.
Yes, sir.
All right. In other words, you evaluate the side of the complainant and you also evaluate the side of the respondent, correct?
Evaluate the side of the complainant. Yes, sir.
So did the NBI do that in its investigation insofar as the case against VP Sara?
Precisely, Your Honor, the reason why we issued a letter dated December 2, 2024
All right.
is to elicit information from the Vice President herself kung meron po bang validated information
Okay.
or to ask her kung sakaling nag-appear siya, ma'am, baka meron kang pwedeng pagsimulan namin. But again, kahit representative, wala akong may dumating sa amin na magbibigay sa amin ng informasyon para pagsimulan ng investigasyon.
Yeah, but didn't the counsel appear? So she participated through counsel, correct?
The counsel, Your Honor, only stated na yung threat is, again, yung 6 months ago na nung conduct ho kami ng open source investigation, wala ho kaming nakitang validated talaga, sir. So wala kami mapagsimulan. Saan kami magsisimula actually?
Okay. So, to enlighten this honorable court of what really happened during your investigation, you issued subpoenas, correct?
We issued subpoenas, sir, yes.
And several people participated, correct?
Media personalities.
Yes, I will go to that. I'll just answer the question first, yes or no. At least 4 people, correct?
We issued subpoena, yes, sir.
Reyes of Philippine Daily Inquirer attended with counsel. You confirm this?
I think so, sir.
Mendoza of Manila Times also attended with
I-
counsel.
It was reported to,
Reported to
I
you.
think Magsambol and Reyes.
Yeah,
Yun
alright.
yung report sa akin ni Agent Kalilong, sir.
How about Rubrico of SMNI?
Yeah, yung 6 ho na yan, as far as I know, na issue namin ng subpoena, I think yung iba dyan, hindi ho nag-appear kasi yung isa nasa China, meron siyang parang
Yeah, I'm not asking about
understanding.
those. I'm just asking about
The
the
witness is
people
in the
that
process of
participated.
answering the
Counsel,
question.
witness is in the process of answering. Let him finish. Are you done, Attorney LOTOC?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
Proceed,
and
counsel.
these people were interviewed by NBI agents, correct?
By NBI agents, sir.
Okay, the NBI agents included Kalilong, correct?
Yes, sir.
For Magsambol and Reyes, Geran for Mendoza.
Yes, sir. I think.
All right, but Asuncion for Rubrico, correct?
Yes, Assumption also.
All right,
sir.
and the Q&A was recorded, correct?
Yeah, I think may transcript yata. Na
All right,
ginawa
very well.
sila, sir.
After the interviews, the NBI agents executed affidavits, correct?
Yes, sir. They
Attesting
have-
to the interviews conducted.
Yes, sir.
Let's go through the minutes of the meeting attached to the affidavit of investigation. There were 4 sets of minutes of the meeting, correct? 1 for Reyes, 1 for Mendoza, 1 for Magsambol, and 1 for Rubrico. Do you confirm
may,
this?
May I check first the document, sir?
Your Honor, may we ask, Your Honor, that my co-counsel confronts the witness, not the prosecution's counsel. This is our turn, Your Honor. And we want to use the official copy, which is the copies court, the impeachment court's copy, Your Honor. So we don't know what copy the prosecution's lawyer is confronting the witness with.
Counsel will please comply.
Ano yun?
All right. So based minutes of the meeting. So there were 4 sets, 1 for Reyes, 1 for Mendoza, 1 for Magsambol, and 1 for Rubrico. Now, based on the minutes of the meeting,
May I check first, sir?
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, them sir, yes. Leave them sir, yes. This is Mendoza. Yes. This is Magsambol. Magsambol.
I'll wait for him.
Rubriko. Yeah, I think up to Rubrico, sir.
All right. So you confirmed that there was a Q&A.
There is Q&A. sir.
Okay. And then konti lang yung mga tanong nyo, actually not more than 20 questions per interviewee, correct?
20 questions. Sir.
All right. And how long did the interviews last, if you know?
I think ang report sa akin na nag-appear sila, nag-participate sila sa interview, but dun sa timeline, no personal knowledge, sir. Ang
All right.
makakasagot nito yung mismo yung nag-interview, sir.
Okay, but in that interview, they were asked about their personal knowledge on the November 23, 2024 press con, correct?
Yeah, the question was where were you on 23 November
Just
2024?
a yes or no will
At
do.
about 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. Sir.
Yes, your answer is yes.
Yeah, there is that
Okay.
question. Sir.
Now, during this interview, according to the minutes also that you're now perusing, a video of the press con was shown, correct?
Mm, yes, it says here, is that Zoom meeting the one in the video?
Okay.
At this juncture, the agent showed the video.
Attorney
dated
LOTOC,
23.
kindly just answer yes to abbreviate the proceedings
Yes,
or no.
yes, sir.
Okay, my question is this. Did the NBI show the entire video to the interviewee or just portions thereof?
Ang makakasagot ho niyan, Your Honor, yung nagkanda
know.
po ng interview.
If you know.
I'm not sure, sir.
Didn't you provide instructions to the NBI agents regarding the showing of the video?
Well, the instruction is whether or not nandun ba sila nung nangyari yung press conference nung November 23.
Yeah, but will you agree with me that for the investigation to be impartial, the NBI should have shown the entire video and not just certain portions thereof?
That I cannot answer kung pinakita nila yung buong video. Ang instruction ko, Your Honor, part ng investigation is to ask them kung nag-participate sila o may personal knowledge sila during the online press conference at November 23, 2024.
All right, but let me direct your attention to page 189 also of Annex G9. This pertains to the minutes of the meeting of Kalilong. If we can flash that on the screen and if my co-counsel can confront the witness. It says here, and I want to read, in the top portion, it states 1024H and 1057H, December 4, 2024. 2020 here. Meaning, the interview took place on December 4 from 10:24 to 10:57 a.m. Is that correct? Military time.
Well, it appears in that document, sir.
All right. So in other words, 23 minutes lang yung interview.
Based on that document, sir.
O hindi nyo talaga mapapakita yung whole video, correct?
Based on that document, kung ganyan lang yung timeline niya, yes, Your Honor, hindi.
Kasi 2 hours mahigit yung video ni VP Sara, correct?
Yes,
Ask
sir.
and answer, Your Honor. Ask and answer.
I'm just
Many times
emphasizing
over.
the time, Your
Kaya
Honor.
nga, objection
Move on,
eh.
Counsel.
That's why...
Senator Judge Soto is recognized. What is your pleasure, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer, Mr. President. To satisfy the curiosity of our group here, we were asking each other, why did you invite these 4 media personalities?
Yes, Your Honor, because they were there based on our investigation.
They were there in the press con,
Yes, sir, they
the
participated.
whole press con.
The whole press con, sir.
So why do you have to show the entire press con again?
Precisely, Your Honor, that's the point. We just want to establish whether sinabi ba to ng Vice Presidente at sinabi nila na yes, yan yung sinabi ng Vice Presidente. Yung point ho yun na may kinontrata siya, may kinausap siyang tao.
Kaya yun lang ang pinakita nyo, hindi nyo pinakita yung buo because they were there
Yes.
the entire
yes, sir.
time. Are you sure they were there the entire time?
They were there, sir.
Okay, thank you.
But you cannot have personal knowledge. They may have exited the Zoom meeting, correct?
Yeah.
You cannot say for
yung,
certain.
Yung nakita ko dun sa video, ang pinakahuling nag-exit, I think 3 yata yun, sir. Yeah. Pero most of the time, nandun ho yung mga media personalities, nagtanong po sila, nag-inquire po sila, at nag-participate po sila doon.
All right. At any rate, each participant was asked, and I quote, in paragraph 11 of the affidavit or the minutes, it says here, do you hear the statement of VP? Yes, wag ka mag-alala ma'am sa security ko kasi kinausap na ako, which ends in, and then he said yes, correct?
Yeah, base rito, yes. sir.
Okay. So sa madaling salita, insofar as the interviews conducted by the NBI, wala nang tanong tungkol sa ibang statement ni VP Sara noong press con, tama?
Yeah, base rito sa document.
Alright, yan lang ang
ito yung
tinanong nyo,
tanong, sir.
tama? Yan lang statement na yan ang tinanong nyo.
Base sa document, sir.
Didn't you have enough time to ask about other statements made by VP Sara in order to establish context?
Your Honor,
No, yes or no? If you can, please.
Let the witness answer. Your Honor.
The presiding officer already directed a more responsive answer.
Your Honor, nung November 26 video,
No.
nakita ho namin na may admission na ginawa, ni-reiterate ng Vice
No,
Presidente.
that's not my question. My question
Let the
is,
witness
did you
answer,
have
Your
enough
Honor.
time to ask
That is his
about...
answer.
No. Attorney LOTOC, the question was, did you show any other video or parts of the video other than this one?
Based on the document, sir, ito lang ho yung mga tinanong kung
Yan lang
ano
ang
yung
tinanong
nandoon
ng
sa
part ng
document.
video. Walang ibang part ng video.
You know.
We authenticated the whole video and we saw what happened on that online press conference, sir.
All right. By the way, did the interviewee sign the minutes of the meeting?
Insofar as the late side in Reyes,
No. If you know, I'll go through it one by one. But
I think may huli yata na walang pirma yung isa namin.
can we
investigator.
direct your? But you know, as a lawyer, that if a document is unsigned, that document will be treated as a mere scrap of paper. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So that is the standard operating procedure, correct? That you sign the document, correct?
I
Yes
don't
or
know
no?
kung
Yes
yung
or no?
tama yung ibinigay na docs. Ang signatory ho dyan, si Attorney Asuncion.
Yeah. In
Supposed
fact,
to be.
let us show that document for the benefit of this court. Can
Yan ho yung
Yeah, let me
kaapat na
direct your
docs.
attention to pages 203 to 207 of Annex G9. This pertains to the minutes of the meeting involving rubric of SMNI. Can we display first the first page? So the interviewer was Ria Vanessa Asuncion.
Yes, sir.
Hindi pa siya, ayan o. So hindi pa siya sure kung good morning or good afternoon.
And
Alright.
what's the relevance, Your Honor?
And she conducted the
Objection.
interview, correct?
It first saw that document, sir. Yes.
All right, but let's go on to the signature page now. So, in other words, Jason, there appears to be a signature above the name Jason Rubrico. All right, can you can you state for the record whether Attorney Ria Vanessa D.S. Asuncion signed this document?
In that document, no signature by Attorney Rhea Vanessa.
So wasn't this a failure to observe SOP on your part?
I think we have to ask Attorney Vanessa, baka meron siyang ibang document. na
But
hawak
again,
siya.
you're the supervisor of these minutes of the meeting, and you were the one who attached these documents to your affidavit of investigation. Anyway, I'll
Again,
move on to a
ang
new point.
nag-prepare ho ng mga docs na yan, I instructed them, the executive officers and the agent on case, to prepare those documents for Department of Justice.
My only
Submission.
point is this, Mr. Lotoc. We are talking here about filing a case against the Vice President of the Philippines, who is the second highest official of the land, and you used an unsigned document as part of your exhibits. Is that what you're trying to tell the court?
You can ask Attorney Rhea Vanessa de Asuncion again, sir, kung meron siyang, kung ano nangyari dyan. So far as I am concerned, kompleto ho yung tatlo, 1, 2, 3. Ito ho yung pang-apat.
All right.
Siguro kailangan kong tanungin si XO kung ano nangyari.
All right.
dyan.
So let's go through the affidavits that were executed after the interviews. Okay, pahabol na ito lahat, tama? Kasi this was pursuant to the Feb 5 certification eh. So hinabol niyo ito lahat, tama?
Hindi ho hinabol. Kinumply ho namin yung requirement ng DOJ.
You want to use the term nag-kinumply. Okay, sige. The interviews were in November to December 2024, but the affidavits were in February 10, 2025, correct?
Again, Your Honor,
Yung mga interview mismo, November to December 2024, kinandak. Pero yung mga affidavits attesting to those interviews, February of 2025 na in-execute, tama?
Based sa document, sir.
At any rate, this was made pursuant to the Feb 5 DOJ certification, correct?
Can I see the document, sir?
Okay.
First. Affidavit, yeah. 20.
Okay. So in short, hinanapan kayo ng DOJ ng affidavits. That's why you attach additional ones to the revised affidavit of investigation. Is that what happened?
Again, the affidavit was not revised. May mga attachment lang ho na ni-require yung
Yeah, but-
Department of Justice, so kinumply ho namin, saka sinabit ho namin.
Oh, even your own director referred to it as revised, di ba? So
Objection,
let's not make an
argumentative.
issue about that.
Exactly.
I'm just asking if these were attached to the second judicial affidavit of investigation. So, in other words, the agent who executed these affidavits were John Mark Calilong, Geran, and Asuncion, correct?
Yes, sir.
And each agent executed their own affidavit, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, all were based on their personal knowledge, correct?
Again, sir, based on their personal knowledge.
Okay. So, nothing was supplied to any agent, correct?
I don't understand the question, sir.
So, nothing was supplied. Ibig sabihin, hindi binigay sa kahit anong agent yung isusulat niya doon sa affidavit. Independent nila ginawa lahat yan.
Yung affidavit ng mga
Correct.
agent?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All
Base
right.
doon sa
So,
kanilang
in other words, what you're telling this court is that these are bona fide affidavits and not template affidavits, correct?
bona fide and not what, sir?
Template. Yung hindi pinirmahan lang basta.
Well, I think you can ask, sir, the one who signed the
Yeah, so ganun na.
affidavit, sir.
But again, this is part of your these are attachments to your affidavit of investigation. So you should have checked these at least, correct?
Your Honor, sa practice ho namin, may mga templated na talaga kung common na yung question. Ginagawa ho talaga yon.
Okay.
Now, para ma-clarify ho kayo, pwede nyo hong tanungin
Thank you.
yung
Thank you. So in
signatory.
other words, use template affidavits. Let me direct your attention to the affidavit of John Mark Calilong, pages 170 to 171, of the Articles of Impeachments G9. Allow me to read a portion of its paragraph. 5, it says there, no joke. Can we flash that on the screen? It says there, no joke, nagbili na ako. Yeah, sige. Can we focus on that part? Yan. So, here. Yan. So no joke, nagbilin na ako mama here on the bottom portion. Nagbiling na ako mama pag namatay ako. Alright? Do you confirm that there is a typographical error in the spelling of ma'am, which was incorrectly spelled as mama?
Your Honor, if with all due respect, Your Honor, please, what's the relevance of a typographical error from being
We will
ma'am
demonstrate
to
that, Your
mama?
Honor. I'm just laying the basis.
What's the relevance?
On a
Typographical
short
error.
leash, counsel, show the connection and relevance.
Can we confirm first, Your Honor, if he confirms that there's a typographical error on Kalilong's affidavit?
I think since the signatories here are Agent Kalilong and Attorney Vanang Luben, sila ho makakasagot.
All right. So he cannot confirm. So let me direct your attention to the affidavit of Geran, Agent Angeli Jean Geran, pages 178 to 179 of AOI's Annex G9. Again, let me read from paragraph 5 as well. It says here, can we zoom that portion? No joke, nagbiling na ako mama pag namatay ako. So, do you confirm that there's also a typographical error in the spelling of the word ma'am, which was also incorrectly spelled as mama?
You can ask the one who signed this affidavit, sir.
So you cannot confirm also?
You ask, you can
Alright.
ask, Your Honor, the one who signed
One
the
last,
document.
pages 199 to 200 of Annex G9 as well. This is now the affidavit of Priya Asuncion. Can I go to paragraph 5 also? Oh, no joke, nagbili na ako mama. Can you also confirm that there's a typographical error in the spelling of ma'am, which was also incorrectly spelled as mama?
Again, you can ask the one who signed the
All right. So
affidavit,
in
sir.
other words, all three affidavits contain the exact typographical error of the word mama, same paragraph number, and do you still maintain that these affidavits were independently executed?
Mr. Presiding Officer.
Before I recognize Senator Judge Zubiri, counsel, I think inamin naman na ni Attorney LOTOC na may mga templates sila. Kumbaga, may mga dekahon silang affidavits. Tama ba, Attorney LOTOC?
Opo, Your Honor. Yes,
So,
Your Honor.
posibleng isa to sa mga dekahon yung affidavit? Is
Yeah.
that possible?
Yes, Your Honor. Kasi same lang ho yung utterances eh. Siguro yung pag-copy-paste dyan, kung ano yung unang na-copy-paste doon sa yung utterance, yun na ho yung...
Kaya, so, kasi parehong number 5, parehong mama, di ba? Meaning, may point naman si Attorney, may point naman yung counsel for respondent. So, it's possible that isa to sa mga dekahon yung affidavit.
Yes,
Sabi nila
Your
pala.
Honor.
Attorney, Senator Judge Zubiri, what is your pleasure, sir?
Kung sa Bisaya pa, Your Honor, murag